Hello everybody. So today I am setting up my January budget. I am so excited to set up the first month of 2020. I have such big plans for this year. So I am just so excited to get this underway. When setting up my budget, I always have a calculator, pen. I've got my favorite highlighters. And I am going to be using my new payment tracker to help me remember the due dates and how much is due. So as always, I start by writing all of my bills on a calendar overview for the month. So let's see here. We've got rent is due on the 1st, and that is $7.50 a month. And then we also have our renter's insurance on the 1st, which is $57.33. The 2nd is pretty busy. We've got our gas, which I am guessing is going to be about $75. That's what it's been the last month or two. We have our energy bill, which I'm guessing is going to be around $100. And we have our car payment, which is $203.67. On the 5th is our trash bill, and this is a quarterly payment that I set aside each month, and it is actually due in January. So I will only actually need $22.01 from this month for that one. The 9th is iCloud. Let's see. On the 10th is my student loan. I actually just applied for the repayment plan again. I have to reapply every year. And so I'm not actually sure what it's going to be, but I'm going to keep it the same. I think the new amount will change in February. So I think I should be okay for January. And then we've got our car insurance on the 11th. And then let's see, what's next? The 17th. Which is our other iCloud. Internet is on the 18th. $34.99. The 19th is our credit card bill. Which is $200 a month. Water, I am guessing is going to be $55. We've got Verizon, which is $160.94. And our credit card that we use for gas and for Costco. Cody has been traveling a lot, so I think it's going to be high again this month. So I think we're going to have to pay $300 towards that. And then our last bill for the month is our hospital bill, which is $163. Okay, so now the fun stuff, I get to add in our paychecks. So January is a fun month because we have 3 paychecks instead of just the 2. So we have our first paycheck on 27. So that is paycheck number 1. Paycheck number 2 is on the 10th. And paycheck number 3 is on the 24th. And then we get paid, the first one for February is on the 7th. So these 3 paychecks are for January. This is for February. and I will show you guys how this all works. But it's really exciting because we get to put so much money into savings this month. So I am done with that paper for now. So now I am going to write down each one for the paychecks. I have one of these for each paycheck. So I have 3 this month instead of 2. So our first paycheck is on the 27th. And the estimated is $14.20.33. So then now I'm going to put all the bills that are between the 27th and the 10th. Make sure I'm not going to forget anything. Yeah, okay. So I do kind of do this a little different because I am used to having our energy bill and our car bill at the later end of the month. And so I've been paying them with our second paycheck to make it a little bit easier. So we're actually kind of like a month ahead on those. But we'll just see how this goes. So we have renters first. And then we've got our gas bill, which is Spire. And I'm guessing that's going to be $75. And then I'm going to go with what I know I'm paying with on this one. And that will be Republic, which, like I said, is only going to be $22.01. Even though the bill says $68.01, I'm actually only paying $22.01 this month because I've been setting aside $23 the past 2 months. And then on the 9th, we've got our first iCloud, which is 99 cents. Okay, so those are the bills that I know I'm going to be paying with this one. Actually, I'm going to add on my student loan just to cover my bases. Okay, so those are the bills I know I will be covering with this paycheck. So now I'm going to move on to my cash envelopes. These are basically the same every paycheck. Just to make it easier for myself. So I've got grocery, let's see, fast food, which is 20, got household, 30, our personal money is gonna go up this month. We are each gonna get $30. So that is gonna be 90. And then let's see what else is there. There's beauty and clothes. This is beauty and clothes, and that is 30 every paycheck. Got pets, which is 25, and miscellaneous, which is 20. So usually this equals $260, but since I added $30 extra, that is actually going to be $290. And then over here, I also need to add on rent because I split this between my main 2 paychecks, and that is $375. Okay. So then I've got to decide about our energy bill and my car bill. So I think I am going to go ahead and add our energy bill onto here, which I am estimating at 100, and that is due on the 2nd. And I will go ahead and do the auto bill as well, just to see what happens, which is 203.67. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Okay, so now I add these together and hope it is less than our income, which it is. Okay, so then other expenses, I'm gonna roll over this amount into the next paycheck, I think, but we will leave it for now. I think that's what I'm gonna do though. This is why I try and do this so early, like in the middle of the month, just so I can make sure that everything gets paid. Okay, so now I am on paycheck 2, which is on the 10th. 110, and that is 14, 20, 33. And we normally get a mileage paycheck on the 14th or somewhere around there. We will have to see what happens though, because my husband is not planning on traveling as much anymore. So this may not always happen. So we will have to see how this all goes. Okay, so that would leave me with 1670.33. And like I said, I might roll over this remaining amount here, which let me figure out what that is. But I am sorry if I am like jumping around. This is just how budgeting goes. So I might be adding this 216 and rolling it over into this paycheck, but we'll have to see how the expenses go through here. So the variable expenses are what's going to stay the same. Like I said, that stays the same every single paycheck. So I've got the grocery, which is 75, fast food is 20, household is 30, personal. Again, we are changing this. It used to be 60, so my husband and I would each get 30 to spend however we wanted. Now I'm adding in money for Franklin because he is getting to the point where I have to pay for him to do activities, and it was taken away from my personal money. So I added $30, keeping it all the same. We'll have to see if I need to change that. But for now, I'm gonna try it. Okay, and the miscellaneous is 20, and we said that adds up to 290. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the fixed expenses, which is the bills that are due between the 10th and the 24th. So I've already got student loans on the previous paycheck. So I'm gonna start on the 11th, and I've got Progressive, which is our car insurance. And then the 17th is iCloud, 99 cents. 18th is our internet with Spectrum, $34.99. The 19th is our US credit, and that is 200. The 21st is busy day. Water, I am estimating at 55. Verizon is $160.94. And our city bill, which is the card that we use for gas and for Costco. And we pay off every single month, but we were traveling a lot, and so I'm guessing 300. This is normally 200, and in February I'm gonna go back down to 200. And then on the 23rd we have our hospital bill, which is $163. So now I get to add all this up. Oh, and we've got rent. Can't forget rent. Okay. Okay, so this is 1,435.98. Okay, so then plus 290 is 1,725.98, which is more than my income this time. So let's find out how much more. Okay, so I would be 55.65 in the hole this month, which is not good. But if you remember, I've got $216 from this first paycheck left over. So I am going to roll over, I think I'm gonna roll over about 100 just to cover all of my bases. So how I'm gonna do that is right here in other expenses, I'm gonna put my rollover amount, and I'm gonna say that this is 100. And then here is my rollover. And this is paycheck 2. I'm gonna put 100. So that will change to 177033. So then I take 177,033 minus 1725.98. So then that will change to the 4435, meaning that I can put 4435 into savings or into debt, snowball, whatever it is that I want to do with it. And I still have the 116.60 over here. So I've got 4435 there and 116.60 left from that paycheck. Now, I put in $200 into our snowball debt, and we actually paid off another debt. So now our snowball is $228, which, let's see what that equals. So it is not quite enough, but with our other paycheck, it will be more than enough. So I am going to put this total in my rollover. And I know that this is probably so confusing, but this is just how my mind works. And I am trying to show you all exactly what I go through every single month. Okay, so this is my rollover amount, and I'm gonna add these two, which is the 160.95, and I'm gonna put that right here. And then my paycheck from the 24th, which is our third paycheck of the month, is $14.20.33. Which comes to $15.81.28. Now, here is the weird part about a third paycheck. I am still responsible for this paycheck. Still needs to cover all the bills up until the 7th. Like I said before, we are about a month ahead on our energy and our car bill. So I do not need to pay those with this paycheck, even though they are due in this time frame, because this is actually going to be covering the ones in February. So I'm going to leave those out of my fixed expenses, and I'm also going to leave rent out because I covered it on the last two paychecks. So in my fixed expenses, we're going to have renter's insurance at $57.33, and we are going to have Spire, which we'll say is $75 again, and our trash bill, because I set aside money every single month to make that expense a little bit easier. So that is all of these fixed expenses that this bill is going to cover, or that this paycheck will cover. Our variable expenses, again, are gonna stay the same because we still need this money every single paycheck. Personal. Okay, so 75, 20, 30, 90, 30, 25, and 20, which adds up to 290. Now I'm gonna add this up real quick. So 57.33 plus 75 plus 23 is 155.33. So this rollover covers this amount. So I basically have, I'm gonna have most of our paycheck that is gonna cover like anything that extra that we wanna do, which, like I said in the beginning, I have huge, huge plans for this. So I am gonna go ahead and write in our debt snowball payment, which I have not covered yet, which is now $228 because we paid off our Target bill. So if I add these together, I have plus 228, $673.33. So let me just write this right here. And remember that the total income for this pay period is $1581.28. So I'm going to subtract this to find my difference real quick. And I have $907.95. So this amount right here is what we are going to put into savings. Now, this is not going to be all for our emergency fund. I do want to put a good majority of it into our emergency fund, but I also want to try and stock up our sinking funds as much as possible. So our savings and sinking funds, so we've got our emergency. We have our pet fund. We've got Costco, we've got our car, we've got vacation, and then we've got we just bought Xbox, but we also have our Xbox subscription for Xbox Live. Our zoo one is already fully funded. And so all of these, I'm going to split this 907 between. I know like Xbox, I know total would be $60. So I'm just going to play around with this, but this is how much money I have to play with. So taking that number, that 907, I am so excited for the 2 challenges from Debt Free Mom and Debt Free Charts. So this one, this Jolly Cash envelope, is from Debt Free Mom. It was part of her like monthly savings challenge class, or whatever you want to call it. And for January is her Jolly Cash envelope, where you pick a 5-letter word and you use this scale to show how much you would save. And I think I am going to use Jolly. And so at the end of it, I'm going to try and save $74 from our cash envelopes, which is going to be added onto that $907.95. So that would be, let's find out what that would be. Okay, so that brings me to $981.95. So then I am putting this with the Debt Free Charts money challenge for January. And as you can see here, like I've already kind of filled this out because I kind of mapped it out a little bit beforehand. So I am at $981.95. So that would be all the way up here, right at the bottom of this purple area. So to really challenge myself, I wanted to make this go all the way to $1,200. If we could save $1,200 in January, like that would get our year off to a great start. We came up with like our goals for the year, and we would like to have 1 month of our emergency fund fully funded, and we want to fund cash flow our vacation this summer. And so this would just be a great way to start that. So I am hoping that I can reach that 1,200 mark. I'm gonna have to do some side hustles, but I really think it's possible, especially, you know, so close. So that is what I am using. I also have the other pages from Debt Free Charts challenge to go into my budget binder. But that is where I'm gonna leave it, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna split up the $981.95 yet. But that is everything I have. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and it made sense. I know I was kind of rambling towards the end, but that's just how my brain works. I know it's a mess, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful January. Thanks for watching.